in hard labor, abused by his captors. 27 years. Finally, because of political influence from outside of South Africa, pressure was put on the government to release Nelson Mandela in 1990. And when he was released after those 27 years in jail, and he began to give speeches, his speeches blew people's minds because he talked about forgiving the jailers who beat him, and about wanting to be reconciled with the people who sentenced him, and about how violence on either side is wrong, and we've got to learn as different races to be part of one country. There wasn't a hint of bitterness or a desire for revenge in him. This is a man who recognized that whether he had power or didn't have power, whether he was abused or whether he was being stalled in his nation's presidency, that there was something so beautiful, so noble, that he was going to pursue it no matter what. And whether hard times came or good times came, he was going to do whatever it took so that ideal could be accomplished. That's determination. Determination should never be confused with its ugly twin, stubbornness. Some of us are just stubborn and we like to label it as determination. You know what stubbornness is? Stubbornness is really saying, I'm just against something. Stubbornness says, I don't like that, and I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you say. That's stubbornness. There has been one or two people in my life who have tried to point out that I have a stubborn streak. I happen to be married to one, so I hear it regularly. One of the times we look forward to every year in the Sanders home is when Thanksgiving rolls around and kind of triggers the holiday season and the Christmas spirit, because we think Christmas is pretty cool. So usually around that Thanksgiving week, we set up the Christmas tree. And we put up the Christmas decorations, and we start playing the Christmas music, which we've only been hearing since July in advertisements to buy stuff for Christmas on TV. But we set it up, and I go down, I get the box up, I set up our artificial tree. I'd like to have a real one, but I have, family with allergies. And by the way, artificial trees shed. At least the cheap ones we buy do. And so, there's all these needles in the box, but, I put it all together and I get all the branches out, and then I put it in the middle of the living room and I put all the lights around it, make sure there are plenty, and then I get it just right in the corner, make sure it's straightened up right, and start to hang decorations. And about then the family begins to pitch in and they put a few decorations up and other things around the home, and it's a blast. We love it. And then Christmas comes, yay. Then New Year's comes, yay. And this time to take the Christmas tree down, and I can't stand taking that thing down. I hate it. I don't know what it is about me. I don't mind cooking. I hate cleaning up. I don't mind putting up the Christmas tree. I can't stand taking it down. It's just like a lot of work, and in the end, you have nothing. I don't like that. And so I remember, it got to be like January 1st or 2nd. The kids were just going back to school, and the Christmas tree is up there, and Sandy looks at me and says, Dave, this year I think you should take the Christmas tree down. And I looked at her and said, I don't know what world you're living in, but I put that tree up. She said, well, I help. I take it down every year. You can take it down this year. I said, we'll see. 1 week went by, that tree was still up there. 2 weeks went by, that tree was still up there. 3 weeks went by, that tree's still up there. And we never talk about the tree. And as the weeks went by, we didn't talk about anything. Our tree was up there. Finally, the first week of February came, and that tree is still in the corner. And I made this comment to Sandy. It was meant to motivate and inspire. I made this comment. I said, what's really cool about that tree in that corner? That's going to save me so much time setting it up this November. Well, that week, Sandy began to take the Christmas tree down and put it in the box. And it's like, I win! I just want to let you know that was not determination. That was stubbornness. That wasn't an admirable trait. It was the dark, evil twin of what determination actually is. You see, stubbornness is all about what we're against and we won't do because we don't like it. Determination is all about an ideal that's so beautiful, we have to pursue it even if we never get it. That's determination. It is amazing the transformation that takes place in the human heart once real determination sets in. It is amazing. Determination, for instance, gives us what we'll call directional energy. You know, if you take a boat out on a really, really large body of water, like, say, Lake Michigan or an ocean, you want directional energy. You want a motor or a sail that enables you to go where you want to go no matter what. Because if you don't have directional energy, you're just going to drift. And wherever the wind carries you, and wherever the waves carry you, and wherever a storm carries you, that's where you go. And you can end up wasting time, spending a lot of money, being places you never want to be, and maybe even losing your life. Because when you venture on a large body of water, you need directional energy. And you know, when you venture out into this expanse that we call life, you need the same thing. Because the circumstances of life and the decisions of others are like wind and waves and storms, and they will try to blow you and move you wherever they want you to go. And if we don't have determination, if we don't have something so beautiful and noble and wonderful that it compels us to go that way no matter what, then we will live a life of drifting. And that's no way to live a life worth remembering. It gives us directional energy. And you know what also occurred to me? You know what else determination will give us? It'll give us a positive identity. You ever noticed how easy it is to define yourself by your worst moment? You know, I would not be a bit surprised that down deep in most of the people here, we define ourselves by our worst moment. And there are people who think, you know who I really am? I'm an adulterer or an adulteress. You know who I really am? I'm just an addict to alcohol or drugs. You know who I really am? I'm somebody that has such an out-of-control temper that I can't muster enough of self-control to build a decent relationship with anybody. You know who I really am? I'm the person whose business failed. You know who I really am? I'm the person that couldn't raise a kid to turn out. You know who I am? I'm the person that gives in to the pressure of peers every time I'm around it. It is amazing how we as human beings define ourselves. We label our core by our worst moments in life. And of course, people around us are more than happy to play the game right along with us. But if we have determination, if we have this thing that we deem so wonderful and noble that we've got to pursue with all our lives, then our ideals can define who we are, not our worst moments. If we let our worst moments define us and we think that we're just a failure, we're just that kind of person, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and we act like what we think we are. But if we let our ideals define us, who we're desperately trying to become and do, it is amazing how that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and we live a life worth remembering. That's just some of the power of determination. So I'm just wondering, what in your life is fixed in your future and you deem it so beautiful, so wonderful, so valuable that you right now are pursuing it at all costs, no matter what? Even if it never gets realized, you're going to die trying.